I mean, Joe Lycett's getting a bit of stick for shredding £10,000. The government have just gone and done a bit of a KLF. They only burnt $1 million.
Leading Britain's conversation with James O'Brien.
Nick's in Weston-super-Mare. Nick, what would you like to say?
Hello, James. You've said it a million times. It's, as ever, it's all about caring, and it's a sad day when caring is written off as virtue signalling. I'm sat in a camper van on a wet and windy Weston-super-Mare, believe it or not. I mean, it's all very well, rich, famous people. I mean, they've got agency by being rich and famous, but we've got to convince ordinary people they've got a bit as well. And are you old enough to know Billy Bragg?
Yeah, of course, I know him. He's been on Full Disclosure in my podcast series.
So he wrote a song, if you want to make the weather, then you've got to be prepared to take the blame. When dark clouds fill the sky and it starts to rain and folk complain, you know, you can't be an activist without getting a bit of stick, you know?
Yeah, and the criticism that works best, because I think it speaks to something human. It works best, just that slight sense that if you can't do everything, you shouldn't do anything. Well, what's the point of me doing my recycling? Have you seen what they're doing in China? It excuses us from the effort of doing something we know to be right.
Absolutely. The government have just as good as burnt £10 million down here on the beach in Weston-super-Mare. They've dragged an old rig up onto the beach. They've put plants on it, they've got solar panels and windmills on it, and they've turned it into an artwork all about the environment, about weather, about reuse. And after spending £10 million on it or more, they're ripping it out today because it's been up for 8 weeks and they're saying it's done its job. And we've brought bus trips from across the country, from Cardiff to Coventry, from Notting Hill to Newport, to see it, pensioners from the Salvation Army there, and they all said one thing: they don't want Sea Monster to be ripped up, and they asked us to sign a petition. So that's what we're doing, and this Friday we're going to take the petition into Parliament to present it to the Department of Culture. We see it as a beacon for the creativity revolution that our children, our communities and our country still so desperately need, even after the government's £120 million Unbox 2022 festival.